Okay, start your session, sir.
Thank you so much. So I hope I'm audible to all of you. So first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I would like to welcome all of you to this NPTEL online certification course on advanced aquaculture technology. This is the second live session that we're having right now. So I got some questionnaires in our forum, as well as I got it in the Excel sheet that was shared with all of you. So I'll be majorly discussing on that only right now, and I'll try to just let me know if you have any particular question. So you can either ask me in that Excel sheet, or you can just directly ask me in the YouTube. So yeah. So I'll go to the first question. So in a forum section of our course, I was asked, like, the hemocytometer is used for counting the RBC, that is red blood count corpuscles, and what's its use in hatchery unit. Okay, so so the hemocytometer is actually used to determine the total hemocyte count, and it's in the stream hemolymph, and there are it's like, there are different types of hemocytes that that needs to be understood: hyaline and the granular type. This hyaline hemocytes is absorbed. Normally, it used for absorbing the pathogens and the foreign particles, whereas this granular hemocytes are normally destroy the invading elements. So, it major function of this hemocytes is to, to defend itself from any pathogens and for detoxification. So, to understand the total hemocyte count or THCs, we normally use this hemocytometer. Next question was asked, why the exam is not conducted in Hazaribagh. That's why I was not being able to register for the exam. So I'm sorry for that, but I am not the right person to ask this question. So because you can directly ask this question to the NPTEL, and you can just write them a mail. I was not aware that in Hazaribagh city like this is not having any NPTEL center. But anyway, so you can just write them a mail requesting them to provide you with the access, or somehow provide you I mean, so that next time there will be some center in Hazaribagh. Anyway, so the next question was asked by the Indrajit Raj Pandit. What is the relationship between aquaculture and engineering? Okay, so this is where, I earlier last discussion also, I was discussing about the same. If you remember, that aquaculture in general, it's a practice of, kind of culturing different kind of aquatic species by different anthropogenic activities using, I mean, we do it by ourselves. But while doing this culturing of different aquatic species and all, it needs some nowadays it needs the intervention of different engineering component. To start with, right from the feed that we provide, that feed, how we can provide, how we can design the most optimized feed, and how we can design, those feed can be, how to say, we can easily manufacture it. This feed manufacturing thing can be done with the high end equipment, because that is needed. Like if we talk about, different type of fish feed, that needs some extruder type of machine, and also this extruder sonor, it involves with different type of okay. So normally in this kind of equipment, that we normally use in this kind of fish feeds and all, there needs the engineering intervention in it. The same way, right from that, if you want to clean the water, the fish, I mean, like aquaculture wastewater and all, for that you need to develop different kind of recirculating aquaculture systems, or RAS. There also you need to intervene, you need to involve some some engineering component into it and all. Likewise, if even if the harvesting period also, after harvesting, post harvesting processing, and also there also needs some kind of engineering interventions. There are people from different parts of the food process engineering background. They are actually working on how to process those aquatic species that you're culturing in aquaculture. And so all this actually sector, the whole sector, this aquaculture sector, nowadays, if you want to make it to the next level, it needs the intervention by the engineering point of view as well. So that is why, and that is the reason why in India, I'm very happy to share that in India, IIT Kharagpur was one of the first institute to have this aquaculture engineering, masters in aquaculture engineering. And other than that, nowadays there are some other institutes who are also started having aquaculture engineering, but this is one of the first institute who provides the degree, master's degree in aquaculture engineering under the agriculture and tourism department. So yeah, so there are it's actually quite related to each other, and it needs quite regular intervention of engineering in aquaculture. So next question that he has asked, that how does the water flow rate it impacts the efficiency of an aquaculture system? So obviously the water flow rate is very important to start with. In order to maintain the water quality, you have to have a proper water flow rate that you have to maintain, so that there will be no accumulation of harmful substances, or it will also facilitate the removal of the waste product like the uneaten food and the fishes in the bottom. So it can, and by this way we can actually contribute to a better water quality. The other than that, the fish health and growth is also getting affected, because adequate flow it stimulates the fish activities, promotes healthy feeding behavior and optimal growth rate. Stress reduction, excessive water flow can also cause the stress in the fish, so due to the constant swimming against the current. So while too low of a flow can also lead to the stress from poor water quality, so we have to maintain the certain water flow rate to have a to get rid of the stress in this cultured fishes. And also, other than that, it also impacts on the feeding efficiency, because high flow rate can actually wash away your food particles, and before even fish can fully consume it, so which can reduce the feeding efficiency. Other than that, there are some specific needs, like different fish species. It has like it offer optimal flow rate requirement based on their size, swimming behavior, and the physiological needs. So yeah, so next question that he has asked is, what are the methods for controlling the ammonia level in aquaculture system? So we all know that mostly the aquaculture waste, aquaculture waste, it constitutes of the nitrogen species only. So one of the major nitrogen species that dominates is the ammonia. So how we can actually control the ammonia level in our aquaculture system? We can reduce the feeding. First of all, we can avoid the overfeeding of the fish and only provide exactly what they need. We can improve the waste management. We can prevent the leftover feed or the waste or the excreta that is coming out of the fishes by accumulating on the which can accumulate on the bottom of the pond, which can actually eliminate, and we can design it in such a way that there will be certain provision to remove those waste from the benthic waste from the bottom, as well as there are some we can increase the aeration, which will also increase the oxygen level, and it can also reduce the ammonia level. How? Because of the nitrification process that can occur. So because of the nitrification process, ammonia will be converted into nitrate or nitrite, and at the end, so because of that, the ammonia level can reduce. However, the vigorous aeration is also not good, because it can stir up the bottom sediment, and it can increase the ammonia level at the end. So we need to maintain a certain aeration, like optimal aeration level. We may add some beneficial microbes into the systems like the nitrobacters and all, so which like nothing but the nitrifying microorganism. We can monitor the water quality time to time. We have to control the water temperature. Maintaining a proper temperature is very important, because high temperature can be make it more susceptible for the fish to ammonia. And also, it's, if possible, we can add some organic matter like the chopped hay to promote the immobilization of ammonia in the bacterial cells. So these are different. There are different procedures through which you can actually get rid of them. But nowadays there are systems like technologies like the aquaponic systems are coming into the picture, where you introduce some bioreactor to convert that ammonia into nitrate, and that nitrate will be consumed by the crops, or the, if you want to supply to the hydroponic setup, and then the final water will be completely nitrogen free. So there are like a lot of different procedures are already in the market right now. So how, next question is, how does aquaculture impact the local ecosystem, and what measures can reduce this impact? So the major negative impact, if you ask me, like definitely it destruct the habitat. It reduce it completely. Because when we construct the aquacultural facilities in the coastal area, just to give you one example, it can lead to the destruction of the important natural habitats like the mangrove forest, the seagrass beds in that area. So that is not good. Other than that, the water pollution, excess feed, fish waste, the chemicals that we use in aquaculture operation, it can pollute the surrounding ecosystems, leading to the algal bloom and impacting the water quality for other aquatic organisms. It can actually, this kind of farm species can actually carry the disease that can be transmitted to the wild population and potentially causing a significant decline in the native fish stock in the surrounding ecosystems. It can also contaminate, like we call it genetic contaminations. Like escapees from this aquaculture farm can interbreed with the wild population, and it can lead to a genetic dilution and the potential negative impact on the genetic diversity of the wild species or the native fish species in the nearby vicinity. It may have a competition with the native species. High density of the farmed fish can actually compete for the food and habitat, and it can also disrupt the natural ecosystem balance in that area. What are the measures that should be taken? Obviously, we have to be very careful with the site selection, that because the site selection, this actually drastically impact or disrupt the sensitive habitats, and we have to ensure that adequate amount of water flow is there for waste dispersal, and so that and also we only install it, we only design it, our plant in an area where it's not the effect is not that, like would not be that impactful. Other than that, we have to improve the waste management. We have to implement systems to collect and treat the fish waste, including like the using the settling ponds, like the biofilters, etc., to reduce the nutrient loading from the systems. We can design this recirculating aquaculture systems, this recirculating aquaculture system or RAS systems, which utilize the closed loop systems of water continuously recycling and clean. And because of that, there will be minimized amount of, like very minimal amount of water that will be discharged to the surface water bodies or any other natural ecosystem, and it will reduce the waste output in this sense. We also have to think about optimizing the feed formulations. We have to develop a high quality feed for lower nutrient level to reduce the waste and minimize the environmental impact. We have to continuously monitor the disease of this our farmed species, and we have to make sure that they are not escaping from your farm to the natural ecosystem. Uh, Environmental monitoring, and obviously you have to be cautious about the regulations or the regulatory, the how to say the standards given by the local legal regulatory bodies, that you are abiding by those rules and regulations or not. That also, all these things actually measures, if you take this, can actually drastically reduce the impact of your farming practice, aquaculture farm, to the natural ecosystem. So another question that was asked is that what are the key regulations for reducing the environmental footprint of aquaculture? It's almost the same. Like if you see, we have to. There are some key aspects. Like first of all, the waste management. So waste management, we have to understand the effluent discharge limit that is set by the local regulatory bodies, and based on that only you like clean your, before discharging the water to the natural ecosystem, you have to clean that water. You can design some treatment unit, small wastewater treatment plant that will treat the wastewater coming out of your aquaculture farm before actually you are supplying it to, or like discharging it to the surface water bodies. Waste treatment systems requiring the implementation of technologies like settling ponds or the biofilters you can install. The feed management is very important, as I was telling you, that the nutrient optimized feed has to be designed, and the restrictions has to be like done. Like you have to restrict some ingredients, some specific feed ingredients that can actually potentially damage the ecosystem, like the fish meal or the fish oil. Instead of that, we can think of some plant-based alternative to the fish meal or the fish oil, just to provide those kind of essential amino acids to the aquaculture farming species. Obviously, as I was saying about we have to do the proper environmental impact assessment before designing the farm, and we have to do the proper site zoning and the stock intensity limitation study, and before actually it's like simply supplying that water or the waste, discharging it to the regular surface water body or the landfills. we have to have a restricted use of antibiotics and the chemicals as much as possible to reduce its impact on the environment. And we have to have a very selective species like selection is very important. And nowadays there are like a lot of innovative aquaculture practices are coming into the picture. Like you already heard about the IMTA, so integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, where we support the systems with the different species. So they are cultured together to maximize the nutrient utilization and minimize the waste generation from the system. So it's more like one species waste will be a wealth or the food for the another species. So this way they are inter related to each other. If you ask me one example, if you are culturing fish with the mussel culture and or any kind other kind of bivalve, and there is a seaweed, so what will happen? The whatever the waste that will be generated out of fish culture, so the waste, the inorganic waste can be fed by the will be fed by the seaweed, and on the organic waste will be fed by the bivalves, mussels, clams, oysters, and all. So because of that, there will be proper circular economy based concept can be generated, and you can actually reduce the overall aquaculture impact of your aquaculture practices on the environment. Other than that, there is this recirculating aquaculture systems. Advances like aquaponic systems are also there. As if you remember in last discussion also, I discussed in details. So these are some current, like high-end technologies that is already in the market, which I mean, like, which can be you can discuss. I mean, like, you can actually study and you can see that how it can be useful to you. So I can see some question in YouTube. Like Muhammad Zain asks, like, sir, is reading everything in lectures is enough for final theory exam? Yes, it is. It is more than efficient. So, uh, Abhi talks asks, like, so please ask about the hydroponics playlist or any course fee, course free. Okay. So hydroponics, if you want to learn about the hydroponic, or the if you want to learn about the um, aquaponic system, like if you talk about the aquaculture, so definitely the aquaponic system. So you can definitely write me a mail and all, so I can share you some very important like nice recent literatures or the reviews and all, that I can share it with you, so that it will be you can get some idea about it. Other than that, I in my lab in IIT Kharagpur, I'm specifically working on this 3D aquaculture techniques and all of the technologies, and also other not only IMTA but also aquaponics, aquaponics, aeroponics. So this is my major area of research here at IIT Kharagpur. So I'll be very happy to host you if you want to come and want to have a visit here. So next question, Simin Kumar asks, this your view on adding the nanobubble systems to the returners sometime. Do you think it is worthwhile? It is worthwhile. Like just to give you one heads up, this nanobubble systems, this nanobubble generator nowadays is getting quite a great blow in the in Indonesia, China, Japan, Malaysia, and that region. So Thailand, this region. So where the aquaculture industry is blooming, like already quite in blooming stage. So there, this nanobubble technologies are nowadays considered as one of the advanced aeration unit, where by using the what generally it's happening, it's actually providing the bubbles in a very nano-sized form, and because of that it actually can like this because of this nano-sized form, it has a higher retention time to stay in the water column itself from where it generates. So the moment it reaches to the surface, water surface, it takes maximum time, and because of that, the air presence inside the bubble can get maximum amount of time to get dissolve into the surrounding water world. So because of that, these nanobubble systems are quite famous nowadays. It works really good. And we at IIT Kharagpur also, we are trying to devise some advanced ceramic based nanobubble generator. Like it could be it is our target to generate, I mean, like, at least devise one new unit by next 6 months. So yeah, so let's see, maybe in 6 months from now, we'll be able to have some our indigenous nanobubble generators from India itself. Mama Jain asks, like, sir, for MTech aquaculture engineering course, can fisheries graduate apply? You cannot directly apply for it. So what you can do, you can go for this gate papers. You know the gate examination. So gate paper in I think life science, and there are some mainly in the life science data. There are different divisions. So there you can, I think Excel and Access something paper name. If I can remember it correctly. So you can just clear that gate examination in those papers, and then you can apply for aquaculture engineering. And because in aquaculture engineering we normally have students from either agriculture engineering background, either civil engineering background, and there are some seats, 3 seats I think available out of 14 for the minor degrees, like from people coming from life science background and all, like clearing the gate in life science and all. You know. So yeah, there are positions. Uh, I can see Mr. Indrajit asked another question, that how is the use of alternative protein sources in aquafeed, such as insect meal and algae, improving sustainability in aquaculture? It's a very good question. I mean, I can understand, like, you already have an understanding about it, so you already know that what is the necessity of it. And this insect meal, even here also at IIT Kharagpur, we are trying to work on it. So it's majorly, we are trying to go for, you heard about the BSF, the black soldier fly. So black soldier fly and also superworm. So we are trying to use this kind of alternate, like insect-based protein supplements for preparing the fish feed and to replace the fish meal, to be precise. So so that this fish feed will be having, it will be much more environmentally benign, and actually it will be cheaper also, and at the end it will have a lesser environmental impact. Okay. So I can see Shaha YouTube lecture. Is there any negative marks in the final theory exam? No, I don't think any negative marks in the final in the exam. In PT. Normally PT doesn't have, I think, negative mark. If I am if I Shinil Kumar, yes, I have already designed nanobubble pump, commercial ones, tested and supplied to Navy, and the other pieces. Documents. That's really interesting. I would love to get to know about your innovation. So thank you so much, Mr. I'm sure. Sorry, if it's Mr. I mean, like Shinil Kumar. So you can just directly write me a mail. I hope you know my mail, or I'll just share you my website details. So maybe you can just get all my details from there. So yeah, so you can get all my details from there, from this website, and I can share you my mail ID also. Yeah. So this is my official mail ID. Here also you guys can actually write me a mail and actually let me know if you have any further queries. So someone is asking, like, I crack gate from life science paper, then it is okay with fishery science background. Yes, yes. To the best of my knowledge, yes. If you crack the gate in life science program, you can actually, with the fisheries background, you can actually apply for this at IIT Kharagpur, the same tech in aquaculture engineering program. I can see Weasley watching. I don't know from where you are from, Weasley. Anyway, so he's asking, like, is there a possibility to adding the mooring system as a topic this grade 4? So I'm sorry, like this is actually this is one. If you see this lecture is actually recorded almost 3 years back. So so in PTL we normally, what we do, we normally prepare the lecture module, and then it is run for like in a couple of years at least. So this is the third year of this course running successfully. So I'm sorry, I mean, like at this moment it will be very difficult to add or delete any part, but I mean definitely I'll keep it in mind in next. I mean, like maybe in coming year I'll make some certain changes in the. I'll modify this course a bit based on the like an advancement that is happening. So I think it's every 3 year at least there are like a lot of things changes that is happening in this particular subject. So based on that, I'll definitely add those and I'll modify it and I'll share it with you. Okay, so is there any other You can see there is another question by Mr. Andrajit, like how can sensor technologies or IoT devices can be used to optimize the agriculture farming conditions. Actually, there are like lot of different applications of IoT or the sensor-based technology. To start with, the water quality monitoring devices. You can have the smart water quality monitoring system. You can design it by yourself. It can be, you can like, keep it for. I mean, like, you can keep it in your farm. You can have a real-time monitoring of the water quality data, so that in case there are, because will be having a high stocking density, right? So in case there are some issues, there are some certain changes in the pH value, certain changes in the, I mean, like the nitrogen species, or ammonia or nitrate value, which can drastically affect, or the reduction in the DO value, which can drastically affect the water quality, and at the end your fish, the health of your aquatic species. So definitely it can be very problematic. So because of that, these real-time monitoring systems are important, where we can use different kind of water quality sensors. Then we can, internet of things, definitely we are using a different type of smart devices, right from the automatic feeder to like, to collect the disease detection. Also, we are also working here along with my colleagues from computer science and engineering. We are designing some um, computer vision based deep learning techniques to actually detect the fish disease, just by understanding its, just by having a continuous monitoring system, like, be recording the we'll be having a underwater stereo cameras and all. So whenever the fishes will show some certain anomalies in its behavior, or some changes in its, like, textural like, in its texture, we can easily identify the disease that it may have, just by, like, doing so. So this, there are the different applications of IoTs and sensors are there in agricultural uh, engineering field. So yeah. So any other questions? Okay. So PFSC third year student want to be an agriculture engineer. What should be the criteria to reach there? As I told you already, like, you can definitely apply for, like, you can go for gate in life science division and all, and then if you clear the gate, and actually they can, then you can apply for at IIT Kharagpur for MTech in agriculture engineering. But other than IIT Kharagpur, I think Tamil Nadu Jayalalitha Fisheries Institute in University, they also started having this agriculture engineering in masters in agriculture engineering, and if I'm correct, there are another two regional institutes. They also started having it in, like, that is in government level. The private level, there are like couple of them. They started planning to have the agriculture engineering in India because of the blue revolution that is happening. There are like more and more of this kind you will see in the future. So, is there any other question? So, Wesley, you said you're from Tamil Nadu. Nice. So, yeah, so that's it. So, I think that is it. I do not see any other questions in the YouTube chat box, and as well as in the Excel sheet. And so, yeah. Yeah, so in my forum also, there are no other questions. So as there is no other question, so I will stop it here only. And it's really nice. I have searched in GATE exam website. There is no paper for life sciences. That's the exact paper. So what we can do, Mohammed Jain. So you just write me a mail. Huh? You write me a mail. I will give you some details about what are the Excel GATE exams and all. Yes, yes, it is Excel. So this Excel and I think XS, if I'm correct, X and S, Excel and XS, these two are, I think, the other minor gate qualifying criteria that we have fixed. So I need to check. So you can just still write me a mail. I'll check, like, if I get any information, I'll share it with you. Nice. So it's nice discussing with you, and thank you so much for your appreciation and all. So we'll meet for the last live session in 1 month from now, just after the in mid of October, somewhere around 18th or 20th of October, most probably. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Nice day. Thank you.